Okay, thank you all for joining this call that we have as part of our support for people that are doing or interested in the total transformation. Today, we have an interesting subject that was inspired by one of our new products that has just been released. It's called Pineal Clear, but I wanted to get into a little bit about how when we are on a health journey, sometimes we need some support, of course. That's part of making change, right? But also sometimes we get to a point where we are constantly looking to other people, whether it's in white coats or with degrees or some kind of authority. And we tend to sometimes lose our own voice and our own strength and our inner knowing as to what is best for us. Granted, sometimes when we're in a state of not being well, our thinking, our environment, something got us into that. And so we do want to change. So we do need guidance. But at the same time, we don't want to lose touch with ourselves. So it's this fine balance as to how do you go about that? How do you grow and still stay grounded and strong within your core self and your beliefs? So that's what this presentation is about today. So I'm going to share my screen. I have a couple slides that I wanted to show you. So that's what we want to emphasize is our healing journey is very individual. And sometimes we can be trying to ask our coach every little thing and, or our doctor every little thing. And yet we're ignoring that voice inside that says, this is the way to go. This is a good path, a good journey. Because sometimes everybody around you is saying no, and you're hearing yes. And what do? Hopefully, you listen to yourself because there's a reason. That's when we want to be true to ourselves, when we want to grow, it's all coming from within. All right, now that being said, it's easier said than done, right? So we have a couple challenges. Like I had mentioned, external authorities, maybe it's parents, doctors, um, authors. There's many people that can tell us that this is the right way and this isn't the right way. We have gaslighting, which unfortunately happens with some of these authorities that say, no, you're wrong. That's not how it's done. Maybe they're dismissing symptoms. They're dismissing that voice that sometimes says, this isn't the way I want to go. Um, and then there's just the busyness of everyday life. Okay, you have that instinct, you have that knowing that this is the way you want to go, but it's so different than what everybody's telling you. You might need to do a little bit of research. You might need to kind of explore it a little bit more. But who has the time is the pattern that might be going on in our head, the voice that might be going on in our head. So there's just that busyness, lack of self-confidence. Who am I to go against what all these mainstream ideas are? Or who am I to forge this completely different path? Nobody in my family has ever done that. Who am I? So lack of self-confidence. Toxins. This is a big one because I am a nurse, holistic nurse, and detox specialist. And so I've done a lot of study on what toxins can do to our body. And there's lots of chemicals that interfere with a lot of natural human processes that actually make us physically not feel well. So we can almost be going through life and we feel like we have this cloud over our heads and we think, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Well, it just might be, I mean, it could be something simple as maybe just your home has high levels of carbon dioxide and you're just not thinking straight because of you're not having the proper amount of oxygen. That's kind of a very basic example, but it just shows you how much external things can influence our thinking. Um, and there's chemicals, there's, all different kinds of things that can affect that inner voice and inner knowing. And then trauma. And this is one that when we've grown up in a traumatic environment, we are almost, the whole point of that is to that it prevents you from really listening to yourself because you don't have that kind of trust in yourself, maybe in others. So trauma can really interfere in this process. Okay. How do we then get past all those things and continue to move forward? So there are so many things that we could, each one of those, there's several things, but I feel like it comes down to a couple basic fundamentals. One is get quiet and get still and allow time and space for your inner voice to start to awaken. Also, journaling can help. Maybe your mind still wanders a lot at the beginning. Well, that's the beautiful thing about pen and paper. And you can actually start to ask yourself, how do I feel about my transformation journey? How do I feel about the changes that my body's undergoing? How do I feel about maybe I need more cherry at night? Maybe, you can start to ask yourself, can I, do I need more? Do I need less? How am I feeling? How's my appetite? What adjustments can I make? So really going inward and starting that process, because you will be surprised what starts to come up once you create space for this process. And then the last one is just ask questions. The best way to start listening to yourself more is to just ask what you think about this, ask what you believe about this. And again, it's starting the process of trusting yourself. So continue, or to start or continue these things, and you're just going to get better and better. Okay, so here is where our new product comes into this presentation. So what our product is Pineal Clear. And what they have found, what scientists have found, is that the pineal gland is actually correlated to a lot of our intuition. So sometimes when I would look at these pictures, I'd almost get creeped out. Like, that looks really weird and kind of creepy, but it's actually a physical name. It's physically called the third eye because of where it's located. It's seeing. It's a gland that helps connect us to something greater, that allows us to see beyond what is. And that is a anatomical, physiological process that was given to us. It's a gift for our human body to have that understanding. But because of the things aforementioned, we can lose sight of that. We can lose sight of our intuition. And interestingly, we had talked about toxins. Toxins can reside in the pineal gland and actually cloud our feelings of intuition. So how fascinating. There's so many physiological reasons as to why this can happen. We see everything that is connected to those organs in the brain, the pineal, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, how it affects our adrenal glands, our thyroid, our pancreas, all of the hormones. So everything is so, so connected. And when we take care of our pineal gland, we will actually start to notice a difference. We will notice heightened awareness, heightened clarity. As things start to shift and move, we will even start to notice physical changes because you can see how much is affected. So that's why I'm super glad and excited about this new product, Pineal Clear, because I truly believe not only, as you can see, it's going to support inflammatory response, natural melatonin levels, bio and circadian rhythms, and potentially it can support decalcification, which is going to heighten your intuition and clarity along your healing journey. So that to me is the coolest thing. I have always, not always, but the last few years on this journey, I have been aware of the power behind the pineal gland, but I have never, ever, ever heard of a product specifically to help decalcify, to clean out that gland, and to help our hormones become balanced because of having it clean and clear. And to me, the biggest part of that is to be able to heighten our intuition and our instincts and our clarity around ourselves and our lives. So I'm so excited. I got mine yesterday in the mail and I started it right away. I was really surprised at how much came in the bottle. So that was a great surprise. And I'm really excited to have something that I feel is going to be so profound along our healing journeys. We are obviously here to help you with any questions you have. That is a given. We are your health coaches. But how cool to have something that can strengthen your conviction and strengthen your knowing and your intuition with just life in general. And that really is part of what a transformation journey is all about. So we're just really excited to have this product. If you have any questions whatsoever, we are here to help, and you can even throw them in the comments and we will answer them. And so thank you for joining, and we look forward to next time when we'll have another fun and interesting subject to discuss. Take care.